Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy the video and I hope you enjoy my content. Today I'm going to be talking about the brutal story of 19-year-old Kenia Monge, and I'm just going to jump right into it. Kenia was born on January 26, 1992 in Honduras. She later moved to the United States with her mom in 2004. She was going to college and she was studying broadcasting. She was excelling in school, had a great group of friends, and a very supportive family. Life was going well for Kenia, but little did anyone know that her life would soon take a tragic turn. On April 1st, 2011, Kenia Monge decided to go to a nightclub in downtown Denver with a group of new friends she had met. They were not of legal age, so they decided to use fake IDs to get into the club. As the night went on, Kenia and her friends consumed some alcohol. After consuming an excessive amount of alcohol, Kenia excused herself to the restroom without her phone or purse and never returned back. After using the restroom, surveillance cameras captured Kenia stumbling while trying to walk. The club bouncer is seen kicking her out after noticing her stumbling. Surveillance footage captured Kenia exiting the nightclub all alone. Testimonies state that her friends became worried once they noticed Kenia did not return back. They went to search the restroom but had no luck tracing her. They ended up assuming that she left the club with a friend, someone she knew, or someone she met at the club. At this time, her friends still had her belongings, so they decided to hold on to them and return them to her the following day. It was unusual of Kenia to not inform her friends about her whereabouts, but since this was a new friend group, nothing really raised a red flag to them. The next morning, Kenia's boyfriend Louis began to get very worried because he had not received any response to the messages he had sent to Kenia. He knew it was unusual for Kenia to not text him back or update him of her whereabouts. He knew something felt off, so he decided to text Kenia's sister Kim and ask her if she knew or heard anything about Kenia. Sadly, Kim knew just as much as him. Nothing. Kim also realized something was not right and had an unsettling feeling. She contacted her parents and told them that she believed Kenia had gone missing. Her parents rushed home and began contacting family, friends, anyone they believed could help them figure out Kenia's whereabouts. Kenia's close group of friends informed their parents that Kenia had gone out with her new group of friends the night before. In the afternoon, Kenia's new group of friends, whom she was last seen with the night before, showed up to Kenia's home with her belongings, also worried that they never heard back from her. Kenia's parents began to ask the friends questions to find out what happened the night before. Her friends revealed what happened the previous night and mentioned they saw Kenia for the last time right after midnight when she excused herself to go to the restroom and never returned. Her friends gave her family the belongings they came to return. After seeing that Kenia left her house keys and phone behind, her family grew more worried. They knew Kenia never went anywhere without her phone, and at this point they knew in their hearts that there was something terribly wrong. They began to search her phone looking for hints or any information that could help them figure out where Kenia was. While doing so, they stumbled on a text from an unknown number that raised a few flags. The text read, "Hey, this is Travis, the guy who gave you a ride last night. White creepy van. Did you get home okay?" They dialed the unknown number repeatedly, desperate to find some answers, but had no luck and didn't receive any response. At this point, they decided to file a missing persons report, but of course were told they had to wait 72 hours to file the report. They continued to contact and try and get a hold of Travis, but continued to have no luck. Finally, on Saturday, they received a call from Travis. He reported to Kenia's family that he saw Kenia speaking to a homeless man the night she went missing outside of the club. He stated he was concerned for her safety, so he offered her a ride to the car, parked somewhere else, and since they did not find Kenia's car, Travis offered her a ride home. Travis stated that while on his way to drop Kenia off at her home, Kenia wanted to stop by and buy some cigarettes. Travis stopped by a close gas station and stated that in this gas station, Kenia met a guy named Dan. He says that Kenia and Dan began chatting in Spanish, walked away together, and he lost sight of her. Her family found this story very hard to believe, but thanked Travis for the information he provided to them, and then they decided to contact the police and reported this new information that was shared by Travis in hopes to file the missing persons report. They were told once again that it was not possible to do so because it still had not been 72 hours. Frustrated with this, the family decided to contact Travis once again and bombarded him with even more questions. Travis offered to meet with them at the gas station where he last saw Kenia. Determined to find answers, Tony, Kenia's stepdad, decided to go meet with Travis. Kenia's mom, Maria, was very concerned for Tony and called the police. She informed them about Travis and Tony's meetup. The police informed her that they were going to send an officer out to make sure things stayed under control. When Tony arrived at the gas station, the officer was already there. Travis repeated the same story to Tony, and as much as Tony wanted to fully trust him, the story just didn't sit right with him. The officer also found some suspicion in Travis's story, so he decided to ask Tony if he could further question Travis privately. While the officer was questioning Travis, Tony walked closer to Travis's vehicle. He immediately got overwhelmed with a strong smell coming from the vehicle. He alerted the officer about the strange odor and they both investigated the van. The van had a strong chemical smell they couldn't ignore, and then they noticed a new carpet inside, which raised further suspicion. The officer then asked Travis for permission to inspect the van, and he agreed. When they opened the back, it was clean with fresh carpeting, yet the front was extremely messy with food wrappers and garbage. Even though the officer found this suspicious, the officer had no reason to detain Travis at this point. As they were leaving, Travis approached Tony and apologized to him, saying he wished he could have done more. Tony thanked him, and when reaching out to shake his hand, he noticed Travis's hand shaking violently. At that moment, Tony's suspicion grew even more. On Monday, April 4th, 72 hours after Kenia's disappearance, the investigation finally began. When police investigated Travis, they discovered a history of convicted crimes. When he was 17, he was charged with breaking into 16 homes and businesses and stealing over $15,000 worth of goods. They also found women's underwears inside his room with the letter M on them. His previous partners were also questioned by authorities, and they informed authorities that Travis found pleasure in inflicting pain on other people. These revelations made Travis a person of interest in Kenia's disappearance. On April 5th, Monica, the owner of Debbie's Bakery, provided detectives with surveillance footage of Travis inside the bakery. She told officers that Travis had rented out a space in her shop to make his gluten-free granola bars. The next day, officers decided to bring Travis in and interrogate him. Travis stuck to the same story he initially shared with Kenia's family. Detectives did some digging and noticed that Travis's phone records did not line up with his alibi. This caused a lot of concerns to detectives, and they began to lose hope in finding Kenia alive. On April 8th, Lieutenant Matthew Murray stated the following: "We get lots of missing cases. No one thinks this girl ran away. We have reason to believe that what took place is not good. We are very concerned." The owner of Debbie's Bakery, Monica, came forward with more information that she wanted to share with authorities. On April 2nd, she discovered that her security cameras were turned off, and after she viewed the footage, she saw Travis alone at the bakery around 7:30 p.m. Travis was not supposed to be there at this time and date. Detectives analyzed the last footage before the cameras were disabled. They noticed Travis bringing a crawly wrapped with duct tape into the freezer. He was then seen coming out with a bottle of bleach and then turning off the cameras. Detectives decided to question other business owners that were around Debbie's Bakery. One of the witnesses stated that he saw two males burning a 55-gallon barrel while a white van was parked nearby. Monica questioned Travis about the burning, and he told her it was because of moldy marijuana. She also questioned him about disabling the cameras, and he told Monica that he did this because he needed to change. A month after Kenia's disappearance, Travis fled the state and expressed to others that he was leaving the state because Kenia ruined his life. Police continued their ongoing search, but despite their efforts, nothing emerged from the searches. Travis was detained on May 4th in Austin, Texas for car theft. Detectives believed they would finally have a chance to break the case. They flew over to Austin and questioned Travis for 3 hours while showing him clips of the surveillance footage. Travis, of course, had an excuse for everything. He also asked detectives that if they had so much information against him as they claimed, then why wasn't he arrested? He stopped answering detective questions and eventually asked for a lawyer. Detectives later used a search warrant to get a DNA sample, and he was ordered to return to Colorado on June 30th. But his friend withdrew the car theft accusations, which resulted in his freedom. Denver detectives secretly kept an eye on Travis and informed local police of their suspicions in hopes of cooperation. Travis was not involved in any suspicious activities, so detectives decided to call off the continuous surveillance. On July 4th, Travis found his next victim, Lydia Tillman. She was walking home while unknowingly being followed by Travis. Once she arrived to her apartment, he violently attacked her and forced her into her apartment. He assaulted her and strangled her to the point where he broke her jaw and injured her brain. Travis believed he won yet another victim. He drenched her body in bleach and set the room on fire. Lydia's strength allowed her to use the last bit of power she had in her to get back up and jump out the window. When firefighters and police showed up, they found Lydia, who was trying her best to survive. She was quickly rushed to the hospital to receive medical attention. While at the hospital, police asked her about her attacker, and all she could say was no. Sadly, she had a stroke immediately after arriving to the hospital, which put her in a coma. Investigators wanted to make sure they got justice for Lydia. They wanted to find the attacker who did this. They were able to get microscopic DNA from under her nails. Examining both cases, detectives determined that Lydia and Kenia's attacker were the same person. The detectives became certain that their suspect was Travis, and they knew they needed to take quick action before Travis went searching for his next victim. During the period of investigation, officers followed Travis, and while seeing suspicious activity, they stopped and questioned him. He provided a different name, and officers had no choice but to let him go. Travis couldn't resist the urge to attack again. He changed his appearance and followed another vulnerable woman. Officers knew they had to act fast, so they arrested him at 3 a.m. for providing them with false information. Since this was only a misdemeanor, Travis could easily post bond, so the forensic team worked relentlessly, analyzing the DNA they found under Lydia's nails. They compared it to the DNA provided by Travis during his previous car theft arrest. The match was undeniable. On July 12th, he rebooked Travis under charges of attempted murder, sexual assault, and arson. They rushed quick to build a solid case against him for Kenia's disappearance. On August 26th, detectives visited Travis in jail, prepared for questioning. Travis automatically told officers, "I'll tell you everything, but I want a deal. In exchange for my cooperation, I don't want to be labeled as a sex offender, and I beg for prosecutors to not pursue the death penalty." Travis revealed all the information and details about the night of Kenia's disappearance. He told detectives that when he saw Kenia outside of the club, he pretended he was willing to assist her, and his friend joined in and tried looking for a cab for her. Once Kenia went inside his van and drifted into unconsciousness, he attempted to rape her, but Kenia woke up in that moment and tried to fight him off. At this moment, Travis decided to silence Kenia forever. He then sealed her lifeless body in a cooler and put it in the baker's freezer. He then decided to dig out a shallow grave and buried her body. He sanitized his van and destroyed any evidence. On September 7th, Travis led detectives and his attorney to where he buried Kenia. Detectives uncovered a 4-foot deep grave and found Kenia laid wrapped in plastic in a heartbreaking fetal position. On September 26, 2011, during Travis's hearing, Travis pled guilty to the first-degree murder of Kenia Monge. He was given a life sentence without the chance of parole. Travis also confessed to the attempted murder of Lydia, which prompted the judge to sentence him 48 years in prison, which will be served with his life sentence for Kenia's murder. This ensured that Travis will spend the rest of his life behind bars. To honor Kenia Monge's legacy, the Kenia Monge Foundation was created to provide women and children in Colorado with resources, education, and funding to engage in safe, healthy, and productive behaviors and activities in the community. In addition, the Kenia Monge Foundation will also provide the families of victims of violent crime and families of missing victims with emotional, physical, and financial support they need to survive this tragic event. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave comments down below letting me know what you think of this story, what other stories I should research, any feedback you have for me. Please also like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And I hope you all have a blessed day. Bye for now.